we even need that much more evidence of how Jack Mac is an incel with 2 brain cells. He tweeted about Kyren Lacy. Kyren Lacy is wanted on homicide charges. I tweet out photo of Kyren Lacy pretending to shoot somebody, called racist. All you can do is laugh. In a reply, he would write, maybe, just maybe, he's not a good guy. This is part of the problem. And Jack Mac has consistently been part of the problem, using his influence of millions of followers across social media to conduct disinformation campaigns. And he claims that he's a journalist. Kick rocks. Here's what we do know. Kyren Lacy, in case you have no idea about this story, leading wide receiver for LSU in 2024, an NFL draft hopeful. In December of 2024, there was a fatal crash where 78-year-old Herman Hall passed. Rest in peace to him. In January, Lacy was arrested, and he was charged with negligent homicide, felony hit and run, with death and reckless operation of a vehicle. The cops practically blamed him for what transpired. Then in April, Lacy reportedly had a dispute with a family member, which led to a high-speed chase. He would crash his car and take his own life. Another tragedy. Matthew Ory, Lacy's lawyer, said his client was crushed under the weight of an irresponsible and prejudiced process. He called for a full investigation because something felt off to him, and you know what? He would be right. He would be validated. Police claim that Lacy caused the crash and fled the scene, stating he was illegally passing the other vehicles, causing another car to take evasive action to avoid impact with Lacy's vehicle and crash into Hall's car. Ory would then release his findings that contradict what Louisiana State Police concluded, that Lacy was at fault. His car was traveling behind, not in front, very important, the vehicles involved in the wreck, and he was some 70 yards away. I believe it was 72.6 or 72.8 yards away. His car was spotted after said crash, driving around the wreckage. He did not cause this crash, according to his lawyer, and the evidence that he released in a must-see interview. He would then release more damning video, how a trooper seemed to influence a written statement where he said, and I quote, this is the trooper, make sure you add in there that you had to slam on your brakes, and the brakes, like, had to slam on your brakes to avoid that Charger, Lacy's car, and the brakes locked up to avoid that Charger. It would be corroborated that Lacy was going less than 30 miles an hour and was not involved. That number, I believe, was 28. Here's a quote from his lawyer. It is crucial to emphasize that Mr. Lacy did not cause or contribute to the crash. There was no suspicion of alcohol or drug use involved. Furthermore, contrary to some media reports, Mr. Lacy never returned to the scene of the accident. 2 very important paragraphs via WBRZ. Ory said the driver of the second vehicle involved, which was the one that hit Hall's car, gave statements saying she tried to avoid a gold truck she was behind rather than Lacy's green Dodge Charger. The report that he says is from the DA's investigation said the trooper questioning that driver attempted to recap what she was saying, which seems to contradict her statements. The next paragraph reads as follows. Ory provided body cam footage of the trooper getting a statement from the driver of the gold truck at a later time. The footage shows the trooper directing the driver to include that you had to slam on your brakes to avoid that Charger. The gold truck's driver said the woman driving the car behind him caused the wreck when she pulled into the other lane to avoid hitting the back of the truck. Kyren Lacy should be here. He should be having his life in football. He should be having his moments. And instead, we had a disinformation campaign from some of the worst bad faith actors on the internet and even this app going after him, which continues to show how pathetic these people are.